Yeah, it did it.
Okay, good.
Okay, let me re-add Facebook.
Okay. I'm honestly impressed that you know how to do all that. I'm like, all of that is so over my head.
It's, it's because it happens so often. I had to.
Mhm. Fair enough. I guess if I did it, would you do it every week?
Yeah.
You'd
Yeah.
probably get some good
Yeah.
practice.
All right, we are back up on Facebook. Let me just give it a chance to connect here. Okay, great. That worked. Fantastic. Okay, good. We will get started. So good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us today for our network welcome. My name is Jamie Chavez. I'm the president and CEO of the Westminster Chamber of Commerce. And every Wednesday, we bring to you a live broadcast featuring one of our new chamber members to introduce them and give them a chance to talk to you about their business. So if this is the first time you're joining us for this broadcast, a special welcome to you. Thank you so much. We appreciate that you've joined us. If you are on Facebook, be sure to like and follow our page so that you get notifications for when we go live in the future. And if you're on YouTube, you can hit subscribe. And you can also explore all of our previous broadcasts on YouTube as well. We also offer broadcasts on Mondays, which are all about city updates. So they feature interviews with our mayor, city councilors, and key city staff. So stay tuned in for those for your chance to hear all about what's going on down at City Hall. And as you watch the broadcast this morning, feel free to engage with us, drop any questions or comments, or just say hello, and we will get to those during the interview. And finally, a warm welcome to Trinity Bruno with A Music Plus. How are you this morning?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm well.
Good.
We had like such a warm winter, and now we're having kind of a rainy spring, which is great, but it's cold.
Yeah. Yes, I know. I woke up this morning and I was like, okay, it's a little chilly out. I need my jacket. I had put it away for the winter, for the summer, but got it back out today.
Yeah, for sure. But we'll figure it out. We'll get there.
Exactly.
Well, I'm going to hand it over to you. Maybe you can just start by telling us a little bit about A Music Plus and how the company got started. You have kind of a cool story, I know. So let's dig into that.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I'm Trinity. I'm the CEO of A Music Plus Entertainment. Good morning, David. Yeah, and so my dad started A Music Plus Entertainment 39 years ago, so 1987. He was one of the first DJ companies in Colorado, back when they were still spinning vinyl.
That's so cool.
So yeah, a little bit of backstory. So he's a musician. So he plays guitar. So he grew up playing in bands and teaching guitar lessons and just always wanted to be surrounded by music. And he had his own DJ equipment, and he did one of his friends' parties one time. And then it was actually Mickey's restaurant, which is so funny because it's right here in our office complex. That was his very first gig that he did. So it's kind of funny that we're still here. But basically, the owner of Mickey's was like, "You're the best DJ we've ever had. And how much do you charge?" And he was like, let me get back to you on that, because it was his first gig he'd ever done. So it kind of just started from there. He started gigging, and then before he knew it, he had, two people on the same day asking if he could DJ. So he got his buddy to, he bought a whole other system, got his buddy to start DJing, and then it just kind of grew from there. So, and that was 39 years ago. So I obviously grew up around it, here in the warehouse, here in the office with all of the DJs. And I grew up playing piano, guitar, singing in choir, all that type of stuff. So we're really all just big music nerds. We love just being able to provide music for all of these special events. So I'd say we probably do about 70% weddings, but we do everything else in between: corporate events, birthday parties, pool parties, quinces, mitzvahs, all that type of stuff. Really, in 39 years, we've kind of done every event that you can think of. But yeah, so we're kind of in the transition right now of me transitioning, or of us transitioning the business from his name to my name. So I'm taking over and just so thankful for the opportunity to take over such a successful, amazing, fun company. We have about 40 DJs on our team, so definitely pretty big compared to other entertainment companies. But yeah, we do DJs, live music, photo booths, karaoke, silent disco. Honestly, any form of entertainment you can probably think of, we've
Yeah.
probably done it before. So we're kind of almost like an agency in that sense that whatever anyone is looking for, we have connections of people where we can book that for them. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
That's
a little bit
awesome.
about us.
Great. Well, so you guys have been around for decades. What do you
Yes.
think has kind of helped the company stay successful for so long?
I really think the connections that we have with our vendor partners that we work with, we're in a handful of different packages at different venues that we work at, like Church Ranch Event Center, which is part of the Westminster Chamber. Any client who books there, they get a Music Plus as their entertainment automatically. So we're in a handful of packages like that, keeping those connections up and, keeping our reputation up, sending great DJs to these events and having, the venue manager or the wedding coordinator say, yeah, you guys are great. I want you at all of my weddings. So then they start referring us to their couples and their clients. So yeah, a lot of what I do is networking with our incredible vendors that we work with, whether it's venue managers, wedding coordinators, photographers, caterers, all that type of stuff. Those are kind of the big four that we work with pretty closely on the day of events. But yeah, just hiring good people who, have skills, and people skills really is what we look for. It's not hard to learn how to do basic DJing skills, but if you're a good person with good people skills who can connect with people, that's really, kind of what sets us apart, I think, is just those just like down to earth people who can problem solve and help an event run smoothly, really.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned before we jumped on that you were entering your busy season. So you
Yes.
are crazy right now. So what do you have going on and why is this your busy season?
Yeah, we're definitely in busy season. Our busy season really runs from May through October. And that's because people want to get married in the summer. We do mostly weddings, so definitely big wedding season right now. I was just telling you we did 32 events last week and we have 36 this week.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Crazy.
standard for weekends in the summer. But yeah, we get like a handful of graduations this time of year. We do a handful of proms like in late April, early May. So that's really kind of what we've been doing the last couple weeks. But then yeah, now we're definitely into the weddings. Most events that we're doing every week now are weddings with a handful of, we have a graduation party this weekend. We have like a handful of birthdays here and there, that type of stuff.
Yeah. And so what are some things that, because you kind of do, you're more than just this DJ experience. And so
Yes.
what are some things that people don't realize go into creating an event experience that you can help
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good question. I think on the DJ side specifically, we're also the MC. So we're the one helping facilitate the entire event. And so we need to know every single piece of the event, what's happening.
with?
And I think a lot of people don't really realize that. So we send an online either wedding planner or event planner that we have our couples and clients fill out. And it walks them through, like for a wedding example, it walks them through from the first song of the ceremony to cocktail hour to dinner and then the last song of the night. Like it goes through every single piece of the event, and sometimes these are 6 7 8 hour weddings, so we have to know every single detail for 8 hours straight. There's a lot that goes into it. And then same with, I think, the background side of things too, just downloading all of that music for every single event takes a long time. So we have a full-time systems manager basically that does all of the music for us, making sure that every single song is where it needs to be on the specific system that we're sending out with that specific DJ for that specific event. So it's a lot of organizational type skills that really, it's a lot of details. And I don't think, I talk to couples who they look at our online planner that we send them and they're like, wow, I didn't realize that we had to know this and we had to know this and we had to think of a song for this. Not that they have to. I tell them they can give us as much or as little detail as they want, but really the more they can give us, the more we know their vision and can kind of help bring that to life. So
Yeah.
just a lot of little tiny details for sure.
Yeah. So are you the one that works with the clients directly? Do you have other staff that help you out with that, or or is it you and then all of your entertainment providers?
Yeah, so there's 4 of us in the office and then 40 DJs. So I do all of our sales. So I'm the one sending the quotes, answering questions, sending contracts, sending invoices, and then any questions that they have along the way as well. I'm kind of in the transition of passing that off. We're gonna hire an assistant for me to kind of do all of that type of communication once they do sign with us, so I can focus more on sales. But yeah, essentially I'm the main point of contact from the time they reach out to inquire until 3 weeks before their event. So it's lots of emailing, lots of phone calls. And then we do have an event coordinator who takes over at that 3 week mark. She's the one who does the final consultation, make sure we have all their details, fill in any gaps, answer last minute questions. And then I do the DJ scheduling. So basically after that final consultation, I go through all their details one last time with the thought in mind of who is going to be the best fit for this client or couple. And then I get that DJ paired up with them, and then we can set up a little meet and greet so they can meet their DJ if they want to. And then basically it goes to Gianna, who's my twin sister, which is super fun that we get to work together.
Yeah, somebody, since you brought that up, somebody was telling me, who was it? I can't remember. They went to an event you hosted or something, and your twin was there, and they were talking to her like it was you, and then there was a whole big, I'm sure you guys get that all the time.
Yes, yeah, I think that was actually Shar, who owns Plato's Closet Westminster.
Yes, it was Shar.
I think Gianna went to donate some clothes at the store, and she was like, "Hey, good to see you," because we're in that leads group together. Anyway, yeah, that happens quite often. But anyway, so yeah, basically then once London, our coordinator, is done getting all their details, it gets sent to Gianna, who then pulls all the music, kind of finalizes everything. And then Luke is our full-time equipment tech. So he checks all of the equipment before and after every single event to make sure that everything is working correctly, everything is in its place. All that type of stuff. So he's very busy with that too. You know, sometimes we have a handful of systems going out on Friday that need to be what we called flipped on Friday night to go out on Saturday morning. So he's constantly in here checking equipment, testing speakers, testing, microphones, all that type of stuff. But yeah, it's the 4 of us in the office. My dad is still doing the finances. So, and I told him he can do that as long as he wants. So we're not really rushed to pass that along.
No hurry to take that over.
Yeah, exactly. So he's still paying all the bills and kind of more in like that mentorship role as of now, just kind of making sure that everything is running as it should. But yeah, 4 of us in the office, 40 DJs. Some of our DJs work 3 to 4 gigs a week for us. Some just do like 1 a week, some do 1 a month. We really tell our DJs they can work as much or as little as they want. It is a, more or less part-time type of job. So most DJs have at least another part-time job or full-time job. But like I said, we're all just total music nerds. Some DJs just love doing it. So they work their 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and then love to do a wedding on a Saturday. So yeah, but it is, after 39 years of being in business, our processes are very in place, very locked in. So there is only 4 of us here in the office that run everything. And we do.
You've probably seen it all.
Yeah, exactly. And with the amount of events that we do close to 1,000 events a year. Thinking that there's only 4 of us running that is pretty mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, you guys must have a pretty good system.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and you mentioned, I just think it's so cool you've been around so long, and you mentioned when your dad started the company, he was spinning vinyl, and I'm just curious, like, how has the entertainment industry changed in recent years with, all of the new technology, and we have all these new ways to consume music, and what changes have you guys gone through?
Totally. Yeah. I would say kind of 2 big things come to mind. One was during COVID when everyone decided that they wanted to become a DJ and they bought a controller, they bought a mixer, learned how to, become
I did not know that was a thing. I did not decide that.
Sure. I mean, so many people just obviously didn't have anything going on. And I mean, there's so many music lovers out there, and you can buy a cheap $100 controller on Amazon that plugs into your laptop and you're basically good to go. So we've been seeing a lot of smaller DJ companies popping up, which is great. There's so much business to go around, and it's super great when we're sold out on certain days to be able to refer to other companies, and vice versa. So that was kind of a big change for sure. Especially, when we started the company, there was like 2, maybe 3 companies or solo DJs that were doing that
Yeah.
type of work. So that's definitely grown even in the last 5-6 years. But then also too, I was actually just at a conference on Wednesday, and one of like the big keynote speakers at the very beginning of the conference, which kind of set the precedent for what the conference was about, was this new wave of couples and clients that are coming in that are looking to book in such a smaller booking window. And we're kind of attributing that to companies like Amazon, DoorDash, all those companies where you can get things instantly. We're like, I'm about to send this lead out for a wedding on June 13th, which is coming up in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they're just now looking to book a DJ. That
Yeah.
never used to happen. It used to be, 1 year out, sometimes 2 years out. And we're still getting those people, but we're seeing throughout the entire events industry, it's become so much more popular that couples and clients are looking to book within weeks of their event, which just throws off obviously all of the processes that we have in place because we're not used to that. We can
Yeah.
obviously make it happen, but it's putting a lot more pressure on, again, the entire industry, not just DJs or entertainers. But I mean, can you think of like a wedding coordinator who's like, okay, yes, I can take this wedding in 2-3 weeks, but I got to get all your details like yesterday type of
Yeah.
thing. So that's been a big thing that we're, as an industry, and then also here at A Music Plus, trying to figure out putting in new processes that says, okay, when we do have an event that's within 3 weeks, which is normally when their online, their details are due, if we're already inside that 3 week window, what does that look like on our end? And I really do just think with, that instant gratification that we're seeing everywhere in the world right now, just getting anything you want as quickly as possible. I think that's just a big factor. So it's been, it's been interesting to try
Yeah.
to navigate that, and obviously want to take care of our clients, but also, we got to have time to get all these details together, and I got to have time to schedule a DJ and make sure I have someone available type of thing. So
Right.
that's been a big shift for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I can imagine that can be pretty stressful. So PSA, you still need to book your DJ in advance.
Yes, please contact us sooner rather than later. But
Yeah.
if not, because we have such a big team, we've had couples and clients who call us the day of, like, our DJ is sick, or we can't get a hold of our DJ and we need to book someone else. And we've always been able to help them just because we do have such a big team. But we don't prefer to do that. If we have the option, we would like to book way in advance, have plenty of time to get details, talk through things, schedule the DJ, all that type of stuff.
Yeah. So I am not in the wedding phase of my life anymore. That phase was probably about 10 years ago for me, where all of my friends were getting married and all of my
Yeah.
cousins and things like that. So it's actually been a while since I've been to a wedding. So what are some trends that you're seeing right now in the entertainment aspect of weddings?
Yeah, weddings more so now than ever, I think, are really tailored to the guest experience, which is super fun for guests going to weddings. I think so many more couples they know that, you know, they're spending so much money. I mean, I think the average now is close to $40,000 for a wedding. And they really want to make it a memorable night, not just have the kind of cookie cutter wedding where everyone comes, gets together, has dinner, dances, and then goes home. So we love that because we provide entertainment. And a lot of our couples now are looking for other fun things that are a little bit unique. Speaking of unique, another trend that we're seeing is couples wanting to include certain aspects of their, certain things in their wedding that really touches to who they are as a couple. So, which is super fun. We love, like, we're doing one this weekend. It's like a Lord of the Rings themed wedding because they both fell in love with Lord of the Rings when they first started dating. They watched all of them and would always, be talking about it. So now they're doing a Lord of the Rings themed wedding.
Oh
So
my
things
gosh.
like that, which, there's always been people out there that, kind of did that with their wedding, but we're seeing it a lot more often now. Same with another fun one that I love is instead of doing a bouquet toss, we're seeing a lot of bouquet dedications where the bride dedicates their bouquet to like their mom or someone special in their life, just kind of like as a thank you for being there for them. So that one's always a tearjerker for sure. A lot of our DJs have been talking about like, I don't know how many more of these I can handle. I cry every single time. It's so sweet.
Oh,
So yeah, little trends like that that they just have been feeling a lot more personal, a lot more intentional, which is great to see. We love to see it.
yeah. And what would you say that couples are looking for most when they're hiring a DJ?
Yeah, I think there are, DJs tend to have a pretty stereotypically bad rap about them being over the top, cheesy, all about themselves, egotistical, that type of stuff. So I think really the main fear that I hear from my couples when I talk to them is just that they're afraid they're gonna get a DJ who's gonna go rogue and not do what was planned. So that's why we really take so much time to, have our couples fill out their online wedding planner with all of their details. It's just a constant reassurance that you let us know what you are looking for, we're going to make it happen type of thing. And I say, we're not there to put on our DJ show. It's not about us. This is your wedding or this is your event. Our DJs have music that they love to DJ and play and listen to, but it doesn't matter on your wedding whether, they like the music that they're going to be playing. Ideally, when I'm scheduling them, I hope to get, a DJ on a wedding that they know and love the music because that makes everything run smoother. Um, but we really just try to reassure our couples and our clients that we're gonna do exactly what's planned. They're there to take care of our clients. They're not, like I said, there to put on their DJ show or make it about them. We're gonna keep it about them. Yeah, I think that's probably the main fear that I hear. And couples have told us like we were at our cousin's wedding last year and the DJ got them, got the couple out on the dance floor and totally made them do something super embarrassing. Like, please don't do that. And it just blows my mind that there are still DJs out there that think that that's okay to do. Some couples might be chill about it and laugh it off or whatever, but really, truly, again, they're spending 40-ish thousand dollars on this wedding. We need to make sure it's going exactly how they envisioned.
Yeah, definitely. So, what are some of the biggest mistakes you've seen people make when planning entertainment for an event?
Not hiring, I guess. Not hiring a DJ, just having their cousin DJ their wedding, which again, so many people now are DJs in the sense that they know, they have the equipment, they know how to DJ at their house or at their friend's party or whatever. But hiring a wedding DJ is so different than just hiring your friend or your cousin who DJs. And we've had couples who have booked us. It's actually happening a lot more recently where they book us in that short window and they say, we were going to have our cousin DJ our wedding or we were going to have our friend DJ our wedding. But then we realized that someone needs to make announcements. Someone needs to, work with the coordinator throughout the wedding to make sure everything is running smoothly, all that type of stuff. And they're like, we just want to book a professional. And I'm like, good for you. Glad you realized that. Better late than never. But
Yes.
yeah, I think that's probably the biggest mistake is just the lack of education or lack of understanding of how much the DJ actually does at the actual event. Again, making all those announcements throughout the night, making sure guests know what's going on, where to go next. There's a photo booth in the corner. Don't forget to go take photos. Or there's they have like those fun phones now where you can leave a recorded message for the couple. Go do that. Just someone to make those announcements, someone to make sure the timeline is running on smoothly. A lot of these couples now aren't hiring wedding coordinators because they're trying to budget and save some money there. And so then again, it's even more so falling on the DJ to make sure everything is running smoothly. So I would say just in general, booking the DJ is the biggest part. And couples who aren't, that's a big no-no.
Yeah, for sure. What about what are some of the most memorable or unique events that you've ever worked or booked?
Yeah, just some of those ones where they were really about who they are as a couple and incorporated a lot of those things into their wedding. We did like a Viking themed wedding a couple years ago, where I don't know I don't know why they were into Vikings or how that was related to who they were as a couple. Like I said, it was a couple years ago, but super cool. Like they had it at a castle down south, and it was just just so different from other kind of, like I said, cookie cutter weddings that are pretty standard in like a ballroom. So that was super fun. I'm trying to think of other ones that stick out. We do a lot of cultural weddings, so we do a lot of like Indian and South Asian weddings, which are absolutely phenomenal. They're typically like 2 or 3 days back to back, and they have a ton of different ceremonies. They do what's called a barat, where like they all walk up to the venue with music playing, and sometimes they're on horses, and so those are super fun to do. Just those cultural weddings. Same with like we do a lot of Latin weddings where they have lots of different fun dances that they do, like as a family. So yeah, those are always a blast for our DJs specifically too, to kind of get a break from the typical wedding that they see, and to be able to be a part of those incredible celebrations is an honor for our DJs for sure.
Yeah. So what makes you different? What makes A Music Plus different from other DJ and entertainment companies? Why should we call you?
Yes, thank you for asking. I think a couple things come to mind. One, just that we've been around for so long and there's nothing that we really haven't seen yet. So we can do it all. I think a lot of companies who are newer or haven't seen it all, it can be a little bit scary going into certain events with a company like that who just hasn't done it before. So I think that definitely helps. I think the size of our team and our availability definitely makes us stand out. Again, we get a lot of last minute bookings, a lot of day of bookings, where we're covering for, other companies that, again, DJ got sick, flat tire, something like that. So we're always available. We always have a plan B DJ in place. We've actually never missed an event in 39 years.
Oh, that's amazing.
So yes, we do everything in our power to make sure that our clients are taken care of. Not that other DJs don't do that, but I think not missing an event in 39 years is pretty amazing with the volume of events that we do. And yeah, because we are so available, we can typically be a lot more budget friendly than other DJ companies. So we work with a lot of schools, a lot of nonprofits, just clients that maybe don't have the big budget, but they still want a good, friendly, professional DJ to help run their event. So we definitely are able to help those clients out and make sure that regardless of their budget, regardless of what they're looking for in terms of entertainment, they're taken care of and they have a good event.
Awesome. Well, Parker says we have done a ton of weddings with A Music Plus and have never had a bad experience. From the office staff to the DJs, they are also professional and easy to work with.
Oh
Best DJ service.
Thank you, Parker. They're incredible too. So they're at Church Ranch Event Center all the time. So we work with them honestly on a weekly basis for the most part. And they're incredible. The way the DJs get so excited when they hear that they're going to have carrabba's for dinner, they love it. So Parker and his team are incredible too. We just work with so many incredible vendors that are so passionate about what they do. And it's nice to just be on that same level of people who love what they do. They're passionate about what they do. They want to work together as a team to make sure the event exceeds the client's expectations. It's just such a great industry to be a part of.
Awesome. We have one more question. I think you kind of touched on this one, but besides weddings and normal events, what's the most interesting or off the wall event you've ever DJ'd?
Yeah, we do. We've done a lot of fun non-wedding events for like corporate events that have insane different forms of entertainment, like stilt walkers. And we work with a great kind of other entertainment company called Fun Productions, which also I think is at Church Ranch quite a bit. They can do, they're mostly the people that we talk to when we have clients who are looking for extravagant forms of entertainment. They have done some super fun stuff, bouncy castles at weddings and, all that type
That's a
of
good
fun
idea.
stuff. Yeah. But no, I'm trying to think of like a fun non-wedding that we did recently. We had like a full day for Sierra Nevada. It's like a huge aerospace company. They had a huge full day conference with their like entire team, and they had like certain things throughout the day. Like they hired a saxophone player for us for part of the day. They had a DJ later in the night. Just super fun ways to incorporate different forms of entertainment throughout events like that. And obviously different fun themed weddings and events and stuff like that, like the Viking themes. We have a Peaky Blinders themed wedding coming up in 2 weekends. Just just super fun stuff like that where creative people come together and figure out, what they want to do for their wedding. Same with like networking events. A lot of the networking events and industry events that I go to that are put on by, coordinators and photographers and rental companies with these grand visions in their head for a super fun networking event. I have one coming up in July that we're providing a DJ for. It's going to be like carnival themed, but kind of like edgy carnival themed. So I'm super excited for what that might look like, with all of the different colors and decor and rentals and stuff like that. It's just, again, such a fun industry to be a part of, where people can be creative and kind of collaborate together to bring that vision to life. That conference I mentioned earlier was like camp themed, so everything had something to do with like marshmallows or tents or being in the wilderness, but it
Yeah.
still ties into what the event is hoping to bring. So yeah, just I could go on and on about how many incredible events that my industry puts on, and how just honored again we feel to be a part of all these, and just how fun it is to be in this industry.
Yeah, that's awesome. We had you guys come to a business after hours recently, and that was really fun. It was nice to have
Yeah.
music there.
Definitely. Yeah, that was Richie. He was super excited to be a part of it, said it was super fun. And same with like I've been chatting with Colby Tobias, kind of your right hand guy from what I've heard. So we've done like we did your guys's the Easter egg hunt a couple months ago, and there was another event at the downtown Westminster that we did. I can't remember now, it was earlier this year, but just happy to provide music and entertainment for any of your guys' events. I'm really glad that I'm part of the chamber. And yeah, I know you guys host some super fun events and have a lot coming up, kind of with the building of the downtown Westminster and everything that's happening there, kind of getting bigger and more exciting every time I hear all the big news.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. And you've gotten involved with the Young Professionals group, which is awesome as well. We appreciate you being in there too. So that's always fun.
Yeah, that one's
But for anyone that wants to book you or ask more questions, your contact information is in the directory. Just look up A Music Plus, and that's how you can find Trinity and get everything booked. Is there anything else that you would like people to know before we sign off here?
I don't think so. Just thanks for having me on. We definitely, like I said, we're always available, always happy to chat about how we can elevate events and help people out. Yeah, we're doing a lot of pool parties here coming up. So if anyone has like a apartment that they live at where they have a pool or anything like that, that might be a good connection. Same with graduation parties are still happening. So anyone who has some graduation parties going on, and yeah, just happy to help.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on today, and thanks for everybody who joined us. And I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your week. Thanks again, Trinity.
Yes, thank you. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.